Hey everybody, this is Johnny Fuel. I'm going to narrate part of this. We have Harry here on the left, and Elijah came with me. We did a ride from here in Rio Rancho all the way to Laguna Burger. There is a map here I'm showing. The map starts at the end of Southern. If you take Southern Boulevard all the way west, it's where the map starts here in the dot. And then that takes us eventually to Laguna Burger. It's about 40 miles one way, plus about 10 miles or so getting to the starting point on the map. I played around with some time lapse here because the GoPro I have has some great stabilization built in, and I thought it might be kind of fun. There is some of the video of us getting to the starting point, but most of the first half of this video is actually not included. I had some battery issues. I only had one or two batteries with me, so I have another video on my channel which is the first half of this from Harry's point of view. He had a camera as well, and here we are at Laguna Burger getting gas, and then we were getting through the fence on the way back. So much of this starts really on the way back, but that's fine because it's about the same. It's the same half. Although actually this ride back is a little bit longer. On the way out we cut a few of the A-frames, so there's more of that, which you can see right now. The A-frames are where we're riding along kind of the crest or ridge of some hills. Most of it's pretty tame, but some of it's a little narrow, but we didn't really have any issues. It was pretty hot that day, probably mid-90s, but really dry, desert dry. So we really didn't feel uncomfortable. And we all had plenty of water, and once we got to the Laguna Burger place, they have gas as well. So we filled up our tanks and filled up our water packs. These hills were really fun. Being from Wisconsin, we don't have this kind of terrain, so it's novel to me and a lot of fun. I think the landscapes here are really pretty. Some people find them dull, but I think they're beautiful. And with the dry air, you can see so far. So we're with Elijah, and we put him in between Harry and I. Sometimes I led, sometimes Harry led, but we always had Elijah in the middle. Harry and I both have Voyager Trail Tech, so we can see each other, and we didn't really think we'd get separated, but you never know. So we put Elijah in the middle, and he really kept up. Harry and I both have Husqvarnas. Elijah was using a CRF 230, so it's a bit of a tamer motorcycle, and he kept up great even though he's brand new to this. I was really impressed that he kept up with us and went through all the terrain we did, and this isn't really beginner terrain, so it was a really nice job on his part.
Good.
From time to time I would, make sure that the folks were behind me. Here I noticed they weren't, so I turned around to go back to see what was happening. Again, you got to be a little careful coming over the top here in case there's traffic coming at you. And there's Elijah. And then, yep, there's Harry right over the top here. We use this opportunity to take a picture. I held the helmet in my hands and just turned it around to get the landscape. and then used it to take a still. Alright, back at it. Looks like we went about 15 miles, so a little bit less than halfway back. So as you can see, a lot of this is sandy, maybe a little bit rocky, but it's not all deep sand. There is some deep sand, some sugary sand, especially in these little tunnels here. And a combination of some straightaways and more windy turns and hills and things, so you kind of get a mix. And here we went through some ranch land and a place for the cattle to drink. These tabletops, these A-frames are really fun, kind of like a roller coaster. Well, Eli had a little bit of trouble there with something, so I got off to help him, and now I'm walking back to the bike. And this is one of those wide washes. It's a little bit sandy and slippery, but you can generally go fairly fast. Actually, I was trying to catch Eli here, and he was pretty fast through there. I was catching up to him, but very gradually. This is at double speed, so it makes us look faster. Oh, I caught Eli. A little wipe out there. A little tip over.
You didn't maybe hit anything. Sometimes the sand just pushes you around.
And here we're near the end, and there's these big sweeping hills. They're kind of fun to play on, so we played on those for a while. And then we were pretty much at the end of our 40 miles, so the rest of the video is us kind of heading back. Looks like real big sand dunes here. Harry's almost 16, so he doesn't seem to get tired. He could play out there for hours. But it's a good full day ride, from 40 miles one way, plus the stop, plus getting there. I mean, it was I guess probably 100 miles anyway, and you know, we took little breaks and photos along the way, so it pretty much took our day. So the rest of this is just some time lapse on the way home. I thought it'd be kind of fun to put that in the video, play with it a little bit. And that's all for today. If you want a copy of the map itself, I have the GPX file. Just leave a comment and I can send you the actual map. Otherwise, that's about it for today. Hope you enjoyed it.